today, and we're going to be talking about chemtrails. Patty is probably one of the most famous people that did the those crop circles, and we've had many shows of talking about that, and we're going to kind of go deep on this show. So you guys are going to love this. Patty, thanks for joining us.
It is such a pleasure. And if the truth about the skies and the war against our body, mind, and spirit bothers people, probably a good time to find a cartoon or something to watch, because this is my card of the week. Ponies are for sissies.
Nice.
As we ride the alligator, which you can relate to in Florida, that's kind of my card of the week, other than the other one, which I won't show. So, I have a presentation because I just survived the most beastly cold and chose to do it with consciousness and the intention to feel every ounce of my body and what they put me through, or what this accidental flu caused me to feel. Mm-hmm. And when it started with splitting my lip, which is still split after 3 weeks, I even found a split on the skin of my nose, which is like, what? And the days before, I got sick for the first time since 2019 or 2021. I never get sick because I take the big bottle, C60 Evo, which you also have, and you and your wife know the benefits. But I have been pounding it, and it always works. But when the intention of the sky demons is as intent as it was, everybody gets sick, even me. So the attack on my lip and my nose was the first thing that caused me to say, wait, this is different. And then it went into my lungs, and I have lost so much weight, is the punchline. I mean, I have, in the last 3 weeks of complete sobriety from anything like antibiotics or whatever drugs they offer people, or a visit to the hospital, which they'd love to do. No, thank you. So my family made me get this thing that measures heart rate and breathing. And they said, if your breathing is in the 80s, you're in trouble and you need to go to the doctor. And if your heart rate is over 90, it's time to be concerned. So I didn't tell them that I saw 115 yesterday morning after receiving an email that just made me breathe deep. And I went, okay, I am not going to let this keep bothering me. And my breath was in the 80s, needless to say, caused by whatever got into my system 2 days after the pictures you're about to see. I mean, it was so blatant. It was a new level of visitation from the curly sky gods. Oh, I'm sorry, not gods. The curly sky demons. There's a big difference between good intention and the opposite. And during the course of healing myself naturally, I must have lost weight blowing my nose so much, because you're going to see me pull up my glasses like I've never had to do. I think I even lost like face fat or mucus. I don't know. But the gifts keep on giving. And it was like it took a couple weeks of going, what is going on? And then spiritually and physically, it's like I pulled a plug out, and months of whatever was there left me in a hurry. So I have really detoxed, and I got on all natural things and forced myself to take nonstop homeopathic, fresh flower remedies. And of course, a mountain of this first thing in the morning and during the day, the C60 Evo organic olive oil, because it's 172 times more power than vitamin C. And I thought, if anything can fix me, Evo. And even that took a little time. I know it helped because, God, I must have been headed for a real disaster. Have you guys been well, or have you been affected by the synthetic weather?
A little bit. Yeah, I think, both of us have had a little bit of intake from, they've been chemtrailing us pretty good here in Ohio. And then we'll get like this crazy 3-4 day, nonstop blizzard, and then it'll stop, and they're chemtrailing the sky like crazy. Who knows? Probably while there's, blizzarding too. But you can see them then, and it's like it all stops, and it stops for like a month. No water at all.
Wow,
No
look at
rain,
you.
no anything, and then it'll like blizzard again for 4 days. We're talking like 10 feet of snow,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
And
we
then,
have
and then just stop. And it's stopped now. It's been a couple of weeks. We had a little bit of flurry, maybe yesterday or something. And other than that, we haven't had anything again for, well over a week.
Well, I live in Colorado, which is the only state, I don't need these, which is the only state that has chosen to do a couple of amazing things, like join the WHO again, the World, I don't even know what it is, Health Organization. I can't say those words together because it's not health. And we got rid of them, thank God, through President Trump and his wisdom, which I hope doesn't bother any of your audience, that I still respect him. But our governor, Jared Polis, who's keeping Tina Griswold in jail because she has the evidence and they know it. Yeah. So they're keeping her in jail rather than choosing integrity, and they're joining the WHO rather than choosing integrity. Now, I don't know if that's possible unless the WHO is open to anyone who is willing to hurt their population that supposedly voted them in, but we know it was money instead of votes. So, yeah, I've got some astounding things in this presentation to introduce you to our wonderful leader that is taking us downstream in a hurry. So, what you know and your audience is that there's obvious crimes against humanity. And I call it, everybody's about the war right now, which we should be very conscious of what's going on. But the war against our body, mind, and spirit is coming at us on so many levels that people are just like they are in disbelief. And it really helps if they've had those needles in the arm to deliver stupidity to the rest of their body. I'm sorry to say it that way, but it's an intentional thing, very much like the trails in the skies. It wasn't of good intention to do the needle thing, but look at what they got away with. They forced every pilot, every teacher, every professional that we need to inject themselves with an experiment that is definitely known to be causing a lot of people grief moving forward. So let's pop into the presentation because it kind of spells out very easily what is affecting all of us on a daily basis. Do you have the presentation?
No, so I didn't know the one. So
I sent it to you, but do you want me to pull it up and screen share?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, give me a minute. Okay. Let's take it to the top, Miss P. And sorry, I just need a minute. I wasn't prepared, but I will be. Let's see. Okay. Back to Zoom. And if you'd give me permission, did I lose you?
No, you're still there.
Okay. So many screens, so little time. Okay, screen share. Can you give me permission?
Yeah, just put your presentation up and I'll click it.
Okay. Hold on. We are.
You go down to the share screen.
I have to go back to Zoom. I've got it on my, do you have share screen? I'm sorry. I didn't plan on this. Stream this to your audience. How do I share screen? Uh-oh. I don't see anything that says share screen on my end.
Should be all the way down the bottom of the page.
Yeah,
It's
should be.
microphone, and a little bit over from that is a little.
There we go. Share screen. Okay. I apologize. Where are we? Okay, I'm going to hide you again and fill my screen. Let me know when you see it. Hopefully. Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
We might be in trouble because I didn't know this was going to happen. And it's not sharing screen. Erg. Choose what you want to share, but it's not giving me the option of entire screen. Window. Come on. Erg. We might need.
I can found it. So let me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, there we go.
Yay. All right, if you want to hit that top one full screen, then we can go into this presentation. So there's a war against your body, mind, and spirit, and it's showing up in pretty much every neighborhood, and most of the homes have been affected by Chinese technology. And one of the worst ones is the climate change clouds, is a polite way to call it. And another one is the smart meters that they have forced on every home in Colorado. And I was the last one in my town because I was adamantly opposed, and I was physically blocking my driveway when I saw them sticking them in the hood. So I told the gentleman, with all due respect, you're not welcome on my property. I own it, and you're not putting that on my house. So I got to be the very last person in my town, and I got a text letting me know, we totally respected your choice, but we're putting one on today, and you're the last one. Isn't that great respect? So the smart meter is on the side of my house, and I immediately invested in a SINE-TAMER sign tamer, which is neutralizing the damage that was intended. So that was only $1,800, and I can take it to my next house because I probably am not going to want to tolerate what's going on in my little town. So beautiful place, great cliffs of rocks and stone, just dramatic view from my home. But all of a sudden, 28 cell towers went up our canyon, like everywhere. And I can hear it. I can hear the dirty electricity in my house. And I realized after my dear friend that was the mayor passed away, the new mayor moved in, and it's very much in Polis's favor. So the other one I want to talk about is I can't decide which one got me sick. The clouds, the meter, the cell towers, the fluoride in the water. I mean, we are being poisoned on every level, and China has been delivering the gifts of all these products that create the problems. And also, oh my gosh, the food, I only buy organic, and my family is gluten-free when they come over, my grandkids. So I've been really, really picky. And then I saw the other day that my kids' favorite crackers, which I buy from Whole Foods, says organic. It says all these positive things. I read the ingredients. I'm like, okay. But then I saw a post on Facebook, which, explained that this very product, organic, who freaking cares, is delivering the highest glyphosate amounts of almost any cracker. Now, I grabbed all 5 of my boxes just so I could do something proper with them. Okay, there goes that one. And then I saw another post about my organic, amazing thin sliced whole grain and seed bread, that it also was at the top of the list of dangerously high glyphosate. There you go. Enjoy yourself on the floor. So my daughter gave me an app, which I wish I could remember. She walked through my entire closet of food and just pointed to the label, and it said, "Oh, that's 100. Okay, good. That one works." And then the all the other things were like, "What do you mean 7 out of 100? What do you mean 30? It says organic, gluten-free." It's like, whoa. We are really, even those of us that are really wise and conscious in our shopping, we are being tricked.
Yeah. I started doing that as well. I started going into these sites, and they would, list the different foods that were genetically modified foods in them. And I had to clean out, just like you just did, I had to clean out a lot of food. They hide it in there. They hide it all in there.
The
Organic, and everything's like it looks. Oh, well, that's good. And then you go, and you should be looking at I do now start to look at the ingredients like you're talking about. Genetically modified foods are just really starting to sprout out there big time.
They don't have to say anything about that on the label.
No.
So Bill Gates is still dancing and singing, unless one of the countries other than us has taken care of his foul play. But he's still getting away with it. And now we have poison on our organic fruit. Now I learned the other day that Sprouts, which I love, is spraying. They spray water to keep the veggies clean. Oh my God, what's in the water? So I don't have the ability to grow my own food and kill my own chickens and squeeze them for eggs. I just, so I've got a friend down the road with a farm, and I buy eggs there. But man, it's really hard to respect your local government or the world government when we are being dosed like this. Europe doesn't have gluten intolerance. It's not a thing there because they're not allowed to glyphosate their food. Yep. They're not allowed to have the enemy spray their fields. And again, in this little town, I know too much, but we watched this helicopter spraying Roundup on the entire hillside. And we've been fighting them for years. And sure enough, the punchline of how is Monsanto getting permission? The Boulder County Parks and Open Space is daddy and his son with Monsanto. So I'm not sure which one is which, but they're related. And one is running our Boulder County Parks and Open Space, and the other one is making sure that they deliver plenty of crap for their helicopters. We made so much noise. We finally got rid of them. And because of their integrity level, they came back with drones because we didn't mention drones.
Good God.
So they're spraying Colorado with poison. They're hitting the water. China got away with the smart meters and the towers. And for those reasons, my children and grandkids who I moved to this little town to be with just packed up because we can't fix the problem when we're being run by idiots. I'm sorry. So I'm so happy for them. And meanwhile, I got their kitty and their plants, and, mom's like holding down the fort. But to be honest, and they know it, I've had the front deck and back deck painted. I've had everything touched up because the minute they say, we found this incredible town in a new state for sale, everybody, I'm out of here. Yeah. You can't fix it. It's up to you to consciously move your body away from the problem, because I'm living in a cesspool. Now, there's so many people that don't believe in any of the things on the left side, and they have so many shots. They're determined to tell you, I'm a scientist, I'm this, I'm that, and I know, and you're a conspiracy theorist, to which now I just go, good luck with that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we just have to look at the, the leadership, your mayor, and I mean, your mayor and your governor. You look at the governor and the mayor of California in LA, Karen Bass, 15 trips to Cuba. to figure out how we can just help destroy, California. So the same thing is happening there in, Colorado. So these Marxist communists, are basically taking over our states. And communism, basically, they control everything, just like your smart meter. You don't have any say anymore. So this is where things are starting to slip to. And a lot of people, like the Californians, had a mass exodus over the last several years. And it looks like Colorado is going to start too.
Yeah, well, my family's going to be 2 of them, me and my family that's already on tour. And I'm really proud of them because they're being really mindful with their children. They don't want them to know what kind of leadership we're tolerating. So who is it affecting, even though you don't believe in it? It's affecting people, like all humans. It's affecting the wildlife, which used to be here. I don't see hardly any anymore. The first thing that disappeared was the insects. I don't know if you've got very many, but compared to what we used to have 10 years ago, they're killing everything. And when you, okay, let me finish. The plants and trees. Okay, so they're dosing all of us on a regular basis. They got in trouble for the helicopter, so now it's drones. And Daddy and his boy are still running things because Colorado wants it to be that way. So, you just got to, again, realize that your leadership is as good as California, Illinois. Oh, that's a good one. And Waltz, Pritzker. Huh. Let's applaud Mondani. Oh, gosh. Wow, what an evolution into communism. And so many people in the town that I live in, with all the shots in their arms, are just thinking Polis is the greatest guy. So let's go down show the pictures of what made me sick.
Let me share real quick. There's 31 states right now are moved to ban climate geoengineering and chemtrails amid federal support from RFK Jr. in March of 2025. So
we're not on it.
We're not on it. California's not on it. But you know what? Even if they do pass that, I don't think anything's going to happen.
It's hard to say. I don't want to give up. But I'm willing to move in a heartbeat because
Florida passed it and they still chemtrail the heck out of Florida. So no one's doing anything about it.
I got letters.
Well,
I got a letter from a man in Florida who's raving about how clean their skies are and that I should move there. Okay. I don't know, but you're absolutely right. It's hopium until we change the energy of the leaders. I can't even call them that, of the doom leaders. So head down to the next slide, which I personally took all of these pictures myself over Boulder, Colorado. A couple days before I got sick, it looked like this. Now, I don't see the HARP patterns as blatant as this. We usually just see stripes that turn into what I have outside now. It was a beautiful blue morning, and then it turns into what I see outside. But this particular day was an extra gift, I'm guessing, from probably somewhere in Colorado. They want you to think Alaska is the only place, but I think there's a number of those arrays.
Yeah.
And boy, I mean, out my window, I looked and went, oh, close the windows. I won't be riding the golf cart today. I won't be taking my walk. I'll just enjoy my home. Next picture is a close-up more of how blatant. And if people look at that and they say, oh, isn't that interesting? Oh, chemtrails are, come on, stop it. All I have to say now is, okay. What does that look like to you, Michael, with your wisdom?
It's a frequency device that's affecting the clouds, HARP. And so they spray and then they come in and hit it with HARP and they get that effect. Now that effect, of course, like you're talking about, it's a negative effect on biologicals, ourselves, our animals, our plants. So, and that what they're spraying is they can, check the water. check the plants and so forth, and they're seeing these different chemicals. Some of them are, when it does, like we've talked about your smart meters, several years ago. And when they decide to take those smart meters and turn them into fires in the homes, then, you get a raging fire all over the place, especially if you've had a lot of chemtrailing where they're dropping aluminum. And the aluminum basically, really sets those trees off into torches. So it's pretty crazy what they're doing.
And when we've seen these incredible, huge trees falling over, we're not realizing that these chemtrails are killing the roots of our trees. And when trees speak to other trees and other groups of trees, there is clear communication. And when the intention of the bad ones is to kill everything, well, once the trees all tip over and the food is all poisoned, I don't want to say once. I want to say we better get frickin' working on cleaning this up, because we are not dealing with friendly fire. Right. A few weeks earlier, I took these pictures, and it's amazing that people I know looked at them and went, yeah, so? Planes flew over. And I just say, well, seriously? And my handyman, who I adore, I tell him, I'm not kidding when I tell you to take your shoes off before you come in. And 2 days before I got sick, he had his shoes on, and I caught him twice. And I was like, I really like you, but I'm going to tell you why. They're spraying the skies with poison. You walk outside in your shoes, and as much as I respect you, don't bring them in my house. And so yesterday, when I went to pay him for doing all this great work, he stepped in with his shoes, and I said, I'll be out on the deck. Let me just bring my checkbook out. Didn't say anything again. A lot of people just have not chosen to know what's going on. But you look at that. I'm sorry. Can you be fooled by what you see there, Michael?
No, I've studied this for decades now and talked about it for decades. So it's definitely a problem that a lot of people talked about. Some people that have tried to bring attention to it in the early days seem to have, unfortunate accidents, or they suicided themselves, or they had untimely deaths. So people just kind of stop pushing. They figure out that, hey, if I talk about this, I'm going to die. So, but now we've got to the point where people have finally started to look up and started to really ask the questions, the critical thinking. It seems to be so rare these days, but it does make a difference. And so all the NPCs out there, they're just soulless beings that just whatever's fed to them, they repeat, because they don't have the soul spark that we do, the critical thinking. So that's what we're up against, and they're almost like a fence, against stopping this, because they're like a barrier between us and the people that are doing this. So it is frustrating. You bring this to some people's attention, and they just it's like a blank. The screen goes blank.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Because they're NPCs. We have mostly NPCs here. It's crazy.
Well, when you live in a town where everybody thinks Polis is doing a good job, and they're waiting for their next shot in the arm, I've gone silent. I have no expectation of the evolution. In Boulder, Colorado, it is so overdosed with stupidity. Next photo. I mean, it's just endless. Different day, Boulder, Colorado, and nobody finds anything wrong with this picture except people that are willing to realize that that's not a joke anymore. We're all getting sick for this. This is one of the reasons. And then the next slide is remarkable. Look at the beautiful rainbows. And I see them online and their little Facebook groups. Look how beautiful the rainbows. And I'm like, don't comment. Don't comment.
That looks a lot like when you spill like gasoline. It's on the ground, and it gets mixed up with water, and then the sun hits it, and it has got all those beautiful colors like that. Yeah, that's not beautiful either. So it's just gasoline fuel with mixed with water. and then the rays of the sun hits it, and it turns into these beautiful colors. Yes.
I think they're called ice crystals when the sun hits it that reflect all these colors. And for some reason, in the top right corner, I just see the incoming snake with 3 eyes, like
right?
checking on his poison. Oh, okay, good job in Boulder. Let's go. And then the night comes, and you see the next screen. So pretty. It's a rainbow around the moon. Uh-huh. Patty goes silent and leaves the party. So here's why. The next screen is quite stunning. And it says, I have a hard time reading that small. Colorado looks to join the WHO. Denver, Jared Polis joins the WHO, not thinking about it, joins, independent of the federal government that allows him to declare the thing, style lockdown again, independent of the US. Look at the top donors who are, supporting this. These are the countries allowing mass migration and voter fraud. So there's a war going on between President Trump and the globalists that want to destroy Western civilization. And our governor is on the side of the globalists and couldn't care less about any of us. Starring the Gates couple. Oh, wait, now they're single because she was over it. China, Germany, UK, the Vax people, Gavi, the European Commission, EU, institutions, Novo that makes the shots, Japan, Switzerland, and Sweden. I don't know why I didn't expect Sweden, but Colorado looks to join. It says at the top, though, he joins. So I don't think it's in the future, and I want to get out of here before there's a, oh my God, flu, lockdown, plastic outfits if you go to the grocery store, 10 feet apart. If anybody's dying, you can call them on the phone. So that's where I live, and that's why my family's leaving. And then the next screen, meanwhile, Mr. P signed a bill this week making Colorado a gender surgery sanctuary state where minors can come and the state will protect them from their own parents. In other words, Colorado will refuse to return children who travel to the state and says it will even ignore court orders from the state of origin. In other words, Mr. P is whatever you see there. The bill was sponsored by Colorado's first openly cross-dressing lawmaker, Representative Brian Brianna Titwan. I did not make that name up. Brian has a nice, deep voice. Featured, as you can recognize, is the large, very large person left of Mr. P in the bright yellow costume, looking like, oh, such a feminine little thing. So I will say that the reason we pulled our kids out of school is because the principal changed the sex of his 6-year-old. This is the principal of a school. Transed his 6-year-old child, and that poor child is 11 or 12 now, and it's having a hard time having friends because boys don't want to play with it, girls don't want to play with it, And then we had the music teacher who dresses as a man some days, woman some days, and I asked my granddaughter, how does it make you feel? And she straight up said, we don't ask questions. It's not polite, Jima. So I told my daughter, your kids are in this now. And last night I watched the new mayoral race, and the mayor of our little town is not somebody I would ever respect. And the co-mayor is a man dressed as a woman in pearls, sitting there at the city council. And I was just like, why is that guy wearing pearls? And then he stood up and he also had a dress. And I won't say its name, but it wrote a book about how hard it is to be a transgender person. God, it just made me open my heart and say, wow, it must be hard. Anyway, that person is now running to be our mayor. So you've got the governor encouraging any little crazy child to come to our state. We will rescue you from your parents who know better. And no matter what court order or federal whatever, we're going to hide your child and do what they want done, even though they're only 6 or 8. Like, I'm in a place that's really questionable now. The next one is one of my favorites because I think it's one of the solutions. The thing should be tested on politicians first. If they survive, the thing is safe. If they don't, the country is safe.
Very good on the thing, saying that here on YouTube. I appreciate that.
Oh, and the thing in
there is free speech, but not when it comes to that still.
Nope.
I've had since I've been back on YouTube, I've had some warnings. So very strange, right?
When I was making my movies, I had 5 copyright claims on my original music. My music is all copyrighted through the Library of Congress. And for some reason, that didn't matter. So the final thing is, how do we do this safely as best we can, other than move out of the state, which is really rude to make 100,000 people move because we got one person sitting in power that it wants to grow the transgender community in our state and take away the rights of the people. It is a scary thing. But if you can keep your brain solid and your head on your neck and move forward, I've got the solution, one of them. Yeah. So well,
a lot of these people think that they're getting preferential treatment by ignoring, people like yourself that are getting abused and so forth, and you leave. Now, I will bring everybody's attention to the brown shirts of Germany before World War II, and they helped Hitler get to power. And what did he do in return? He executed all their leaders. So, you people out there that think you're going to, get preferential treatment going forward, you're being used. You're being used.
And the more things you take in the arm,
Bye-bye.
The less intelligent you're going to be. I lost my chiropractor. My beautiful chiropractor of 40 years was forced to do it, and now he has a heart condition. And after 2 stints, he had to retire to his gorgeous home. But now they're selling the home, selling the building. And it took him a while to accept the fact that it was caused by the forced experiment. And
well, there's a lot of people that are still doing that, but they use C60 Evo and they seem to be having no problem. So I guess C60 Evo, extends into that category of helping people too.
I hope there's one more slide because it was in the presentation. Yeah, there's the solution, the C60 Evo solution.
The solution, yeah.
A spoonful in the morning, right in your mouth, is all you need to boost your immunity 125 times more than vitamin C, peer-reviewed, 172 times more powerful than vitamin C in another study, but it wasn't peer-reviewed. So because I work with the real lab that's making the good product, I actually know that after 34 years, we are the only lab in Houston, Texas, making ESS60, which is different than what everybody else online is selling. It's cheaper. It's so much cheaper to buy industrial grade C60 from China. And I actually think it's Wuhan. I've had invitations to buy their scary substance, but we don't need it. We own the lab making the good stuff. But everything we see online that doesn't say ESS60, people better question because it came from China. And it's really good for tires, ink, batteries, and photocells, but it's not safe, not known to be safe for people and pets. And I'd say every company online is doing it intentionally and taking the credit of our results, which is a 90% life extension in 2012 was proven with the formula you see on the left. ESS60, C60 olive oil, C60 Evo olive oil, which is 2 ingredients. Organic extra virgin cold pressed olive oil from a farm in Tunisia, not Costco down the road, Tunisian organic, fabulous, top of the line, and ESS60 that's made in our lab because my partners have been making it for 34 years. There's just not enough in space or the edge of a volcano to gather enough. to be able to supply the world. So they were bet by their college professor 34 years ago that if you can figure out how to make C60, you will be creating a molecule that is worth more than gold per ounce. And they figured it out because one of them wanted a Maserati, and so they set forth and created this beautiful lab that delivers ESS 60. We are the only one in the world. And when I see, I forward them the funniest things. C60 in water, mist. And I sent it to them, and they're like, C60 doesn't blend into water, period. And supercharged, it's nano onions. And in 2022, when everybody had to stay home in their plastic sheet room, they tested 22 online products to really examine the entire industry of industrial grade C60 sellers. And what we found was nothing was even close to what matched their label. Our olive oil says 0.86 milligrams per milliliter is in this bottle. Well, their bottles say the same thing, every other company, but from what we measured, and we have a real HPLC machine, high performance liquid chromatography, it measures, without needing to go to another lab, how much ESS 60 is in your formula. So the best one had 30% of what their label said. And the one that promotes by far the most had 10% of what their label said in the avocado oil. Now, it's hard to tell if it's intentional overselling and under-delivering, or if they're just what we know they are, which is they don't have the gear to test it. So when I see labels of third-party tested, it's like, by your cousin or your daughter. Like, seriously. Anyway, our product is tested 3 times in the HPLC machine to deliver 0.86 milligrams per milliliter in every serving of ESS 60 olive oil. And if people don't love to stick a spoon in their mouth and have the real olive oil flavor that pops in your mouth, like when you go to a fine restaurant and they do organic olive oil, would you like some cracked pepper? Because it's not great organic, it's cheap. And the pepper gives you that flavor that ours has naturally because it's the real stuff. And so we also make the capsules that a lot of people prefer because it delivers the same benefits, and you can carry it in your pocket. You can take it on an airplane carry-on, and they won't take it out of your suitcase. Del Bigtree never made it home with his sample bottle because they took the 4-ounce out of his suitcase. And that was in 2019, when that was the last time I got sick. The entire back row got the same thing that, Mr. P wants to bring back, which is the big C thing. We all got it. It was such a coincidence. And back then, you and Scotty McKay were pointing out that they're kind of dosing through the air systems in the churches. And I forget what it's called, but it's coming through the vents. And so all of us getting sick in the back row, I sat back there so I wouldn't be having people breathe on me. Yeah, it really did not help. So the solution, get this in your body every day, and you will be boosting your immunity, your mental focus, your energy field. It's noticeable. Maybe I shouldn't say it because I'm one of the owners. Tell me what you notice. Tell your audience, please.
Yeah, I started using it many years ago. I was using the knockoff product, I call it now. I had a bunch of it. I've been using it. I really never, noticed anything, but everybody says it was really good, so I was using it. And then Kirsten W., I moved in next to her, and we're doing shows together. And so she's talking about products that she recommends, and so she's talking about your product. And she said, you should use this. And I said, I already use something. And she's like, that's shit. It's like, you should be using this. Here, take this and use it. And you tell me if you see the difference.
Yeah.
So sure enough, I saw the difference, and I'm like, holy smokes. There's like, I see the difference I feel the difference. It's so obvious. How could why would I keep using that thing, which cost even more than your product? And I was like, so I kept it for a while because I paid so much for them. I was like, maybe it'll work later. I don't know. Stupid guy thinking. So I was using your product and I was like, well, let me see. So I went off C60 Evo for about a week, or not even a week. I think I tried it for a day or two, and my body just did not like it at all at that point because I've been using the good stuff. So I was replaced it with shit, like Kirsten said. So I was like, oh, this stuff, just like you did with that stuff you threw. I took all that stuff that I spent, I guess well over $1,000 on, and I threw it all away because it was shit. And so, I don't recommend the other people. This is the real deal, and it does make a difference. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So Tracy and I, we're really into energetics and so forth, and so I noticed the difference right away. And like I said, I'd never noticed anything, but I was told it was so good, so you should be using it. So I was using it, wondering when I was going to get some kind of result. So I'd been using it for months, and many months, probably up to 6 or 7 months. Then I started using C60 Evo, and it was pretty obvious right away.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I tried it, I was like, not only does this taste good, but it also feels good. So I kept using it, and I've had great results ever since. Amazing things have happened to my body. So.
And you empty your bottles so quickly because you and your wife both love it. We had to honor you with the 32-ounce bottle gift because we care. And it's really funny how our influencers that we work with, I don't work with anybody that doesn't love the products because we don't need inauthentic interviews. Everybody that works with us is by choice. They love the products, they take them, and they give us authentic testimonials. The previous company that you spent whatever with and you threw it all away, I also threw away their product. I wouldn't even feed it to my pets. No. And they win the award for the 10%. They're the ones that are spamming us everywhere you see. You type in C60 Evo, and they're going to pop up every time. I'm not going to say their name, but the spam will make it obvious to your audience. And I finally hired somebody smart enough to quit the spamming and to get us back on top when you type in our name and don't want garbage in your face. So I'm polite as I can be, and I'm on my own today, so I'm extra honest and having a good time doing it because the truth will set us free. And being sold a fake bill of goods is not going to do any of us any good when we have the opportunity to be amazing. Amazing.
Yes, Tracy wants to be amazing.
She's already amazing, but she stays amazing.
I'm going to be amazing for a minute. And here's this wonderful, amazing, beautiful gift. Am I getting the, see, I don't even know how to use technology. No tech girl. Patty, I didn't tell you when we were talking, you took this up a notch when you put this in a glass bottle.
Oh, you got the glass bottle?
Yes.
Oh.
It's not just a glass bottle. It is a cobalt blue glass bottle or royal purple, however you would like to explain that color, but it holds the frequency, and I just was so happy to get this.
Oh, I'm so happy that even the 8-ounce is in glass bottle. I mean, really, I've been asking for years to upgrade, and now we're doing it. I'm so delighted, and I'm not saying it because I need a guarantee from the lab that that's all we're selling out now. And my entire closet is old version. And I'm going to have to ask for a new set of samples and be a lot more careful when I put it down.
Well, you know, everyone's so concerned about getting those plastics out. And when a company sees the importance of that, why put your good wine in old wineskins? Remember that teaching, everyone? This glass is huge when you're trying to get those plastics out. So this takes your vibrational frequency up a notch even. Just had
I'm
to
so
say.
glad. So glad you mentioned it, because it takes work not to brag. It does. We're the only lab making the good stuff. It's hard not to brag about that. And my partner, Chris, when he's on the shows, he always says the words, I don't want to be braggadocious, but we opened our lab in 1991, making C60 in Houston, Texas. And what a coincidence that 3 scientists in Houston, Texas received the Nobel Prize for C60. I wonder if they got it from Wuhan, China, or from us down the road. We can't make any claims because we don't want to be braggadocious, but they don't remember when they were 20 years old that they delivered it or not. So I can't claim it, but I'm really glad the bottles are going out in glass, because all these things that I've set intention to are finally coming to grace. Can you pull up your landing page? Because we have special offers that we're not offering on the website, but we are offering to your audience. And if they join us, it's c60evo.com/unleashing intuition. And just those 2 words side by side give me one more reason to love you, Michael, because intuition sets us free.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've got the site there, and look at that big husky beefcake in the middle. Man, I am so proud to be working with you and keeping those muscles pumped and your
That's
lady happy.
Pump me up.
Pump me up. Give me a shot.
Body, healthy mind.
What'd she say?
Healthy body, healthy mind.
That's right. Feel free to join us for the rest of the show. So our number one item when people want to know is the 4-ounce olive oil, 8-ounce olive oil. Just get the olive oil. Treat yourself. Teaspoon, tablespoon. Try them both and see what works for your body. The capsules are 180 in the bottle, and we recommend 6 for most people, which is only a teaspoon, fraction of what I take or you take every day. But some people are delighted with the buzz of 6. I do have a friend that called me after I gave her a sample bottle. She said, "What is this? It's like crack." I said, "How many did you take?" She said, 1. And I said, "Girl, you're tripping. Take 6. So she calls me the next day. She said, "Okay, I just cleaned my entire garage after 10 years. It's been looking at me." The following day, she took another 1. Maybe 2, because I'm like, you really should try more if you want to be blown away. She said, "Okay, you win." My closet just got cleaned. So my friend, Miss Sun, has completely overhauled her house with the help of C60 Evo Innovations, because her energy field was severely shifted for the better. So we have 3 flavors of oil, and the sampler set to your right is one of the greatest investments anybody can make, because some people like the strong potency of 0.86 milligrams per milliliters of our olive oil, which is the only olive oil formula in the world that was tested at the 2012 Paris Bhakti study to see if it was toxic. And the results were not only it's not toxic, but these rats won't die. It delivered 90% life extension, and they died without any tumors for the first time in lab rat history. Now, I'm not allowed to say anything more, but wow, they died without any tumors for the first time. So,
well, there's also the fact that they probably had gone longer, but they didn't have the money to keep the study going, so they had to do away with the rat. So who knows how long they would have lasted.
Yeah, I agree. And do you know the price I paid for rat karma that my lab assisted with? They didn't run we didn't do the rats. We just supplied the product to the Paris Bhakti study. But I just had to lose about $9,000 in rat damage. My hot tub was leaking, and the first guy comes and fixes the leak, and then it leaked out the other side, and that side even worse. And I was like, okay. And I called another guy, and he came and opened the door, and there was a big rat. a big rat. And I went, I wasn't standing there. I was in the kitchen. And he goes, tap, tap, tap on my glass door. And he goes, your enemy's right here. I just opened the door, and you're lucky I'm not timid, because the rat was sitting right there looking at me, and the door is still open. And I said, take all the doors off, take the walls, the entire base off, and let that thing freeze, because here comes the snow, all of maybe a half inch, even though, you know, whatever. I live in Colorado where it's controlled. And I froze it out. It moved away. But I knew that I had issues underneath, and I kept trying to look back, and the guy said, all I can tell you is the rat might have had family and the toilet's in the back corner. And I went, okay. So I hired another company, and I said, I need a company with 3 guys to lift the tub and really fix it, you know, fix. So they lift the tub, the 3 guys, and they knock on the door, and they said, ma'am, this is the worst thing we've ever seen. And I was like, ha, ha, ha. And they said, ma'am, you got black mold from left to right, front to back. And I looked through the window, and I was like, what are those yellow things sticking straight up like chopsticks? They said, ma'am, that's not just black mold, but you got fungus growing out of the black mold. And we'll charge you $700 to take it out of here and donate it to the nearest dump. And I was like, oh, great.
Goodness.
$700. They said, or we can just leave it here. I have a video I will not share. But talk about rat karma. Yeah, I'm glad you guys live 90% longer. Why didn't you just let those last 2 C60 Evo rats run into the forest and teach the trees how to grow and the wildlife how to evolve? Why did you just let those wizard rats go and have fun? But it's science, so, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I think you would have been you know, appreciative they lived longer. Come on, twice as long.
Well,
and, healthy.
It was really healthy living in my warm hot tub base. Chewed like all, anyway, it's gone. I haven't had a hot tub since. I live in the woods. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think between the stuff falling from the sky and the potential of rats chewing their way into my base and doing that again, I've learned to enjoy my beautiful bathtub, and with all these things and clean water every night. But I look out on the deck and I go, oh man, I feel like I'm looking at a naked, sad deck. So the 3 oils again that caused the rats to live longer. The olive oil has 0.86 milligrams, fabulous on a spoon, fabulous on a salad, but then you have to lick the plate so you don't lose any. The avocado oil is 0.65 milligrams per milliliters. The coconut oil, love it in my coffee every morning. It's only 0.35 milligrams per milliliters. And again, tested for maximum sustainability and maximum concentration levels, tested 3 times before it's bottled. The max we can get into olive oil is the most.
So, you know, one thing we never did the toast.
Oh, I have taken so much today. I'm going to say cheers. And
it's a little bit late for you, but I'm good. I'm still going to go work out a little bit longer after this.
As you should.
Cheers.
Well, had I not. So in order to get the same buzz as a tablespoon of the olive oil, which I also take in the morning, I just put 2 tablespoons of the MCT in my morning coffee. And I know that I am taking more than most people, but you really only need a teaspoon of any of our flavors to get the incredible benefits. And depending on your sensitivity and your digestion, you're going to choose your oil, and buying the 4 ounce or even a 2 ounce sampler set. I think it's $135 or something. 2 ounce bottles will only last you a week, but if you want to try the different flavors to see what you resonate with, it's a great investment.
Yeah, we drizzle the avocado on our salad every night. It's fantastic.
Do you lick your plate?
No, sometimes I'll take a little piece of bread and make sure I get everything. Yeah.
Actually, gosh, why didn't I think of bread at the restaurant the other night? Just kidding. Yeah, that's the way to mop it up. So people always want to know, okay, I want to try your stuff. What do you recommend I start with? So the 2 items, if you go down to the next little slide, The facial serum is over the top. And I'm sure you and your wife can talk about that. The advanced facial serum, 21 organic, natural, vegan ingredients blended. Two of them are the ingredients are the ESS 60 in the two different oils. But when you pull that lid off and open it up, I think one of my favorite things is to smell it.
Smell it.
Rosemary. It is so well made,
Delightful.
so beautifully mixed, and designed by me in a natural. She is Brigitte Mars. She's written like 24 books on raw foods, natural healing. She's all organic and pretty much raw, but she designed this with me. And when I saw her, we're both in our 70s. I was like, what the heck are you doing? I didn't expect you to look 10 years younger than last time I saw you 6 months ago. She said, I discovered chia seed oil and I put it on my face. And I'm like looking at her up close, like, I want to do that. So base of chia seed oil with all these amazing fruit formulas and extracts that are all natural, no chemicals, no garbage, and finished with the essence that just takes you over the top. And the reason we chose rosemary is because it is known to aromatherapy experts that rosemary takes your dreams into a higher state of consciousness. Well, what a great thing to do before you go to bed. I smell it on my hand before I put it on my cheeks. Oh, it is heavenly. And so when people say, what do you recommend? I recommend you fall in love with our products by doing the Inside Out starter set. And we do 4-ounce or 8-ounce starter set, but it's the olive oil that's the obvious winner, and the facial serum that is the obvious winner. It comes in this incredible gift box. I'm going to have to open a fresh one because I stole the last one. When I run out, I just open a new one. I will not be without, and get back to what I really love, which is another bottle. So when you open this gift, it's a slide out box and it says revive, replenish, rejuvenate. It's got a beautiful lotus behind the bottle. So basically you're just gifted visibly, energetically, and needless to say, your skin's going to thank you with the benefits. That people notice so quickly that my friends are calling me like, no, nothing works this fast. And I said, okay. I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm not going to push what's true for me because it's just my perception, and depending on people's awareness and body consciousness, they're going to love it or not. And it's not my choice to, encourage them to think one way or the other, but these are the obvious big sellers at C60 Evo. And needless to say, people love their dogs and cats. We sell the dog lover set, or you can just get a bottle. And all it is this exact formula that received the 90% life extension. Well, what a great thing to give your pet that you love. And the difference is that we add bacon flavor, all natural, to the dog formula and salmon essence to the cat formula. And they love it. I get comments every now and then, well, I want the bacon one, said the man. And I said, buy it. Buy it. It's just the same thing as we sell top dollar. The top seller, not top dollar. We add bacon essence. So your dog goes, yeah, I want that. And your cat goes, salmon, I want that. It's this with a little bit of flavor to treat your pet. And then all of a sudden, I've had letters from people that said, we're going to have to put our dog down. And I said, how old is he? Well, he's, 175 pounds, Labrador. And I said, can I send you a gift? And 2 years later, that dog is still going for hikes with my friend that has the Inspired channel. My family had 2 cats until, of course, I was gifted with the 18-year-old. They finally had to give up on the 22-year-old. Now, these are 2 C60 Evo cat lifetimes, and their cats were 18 and 22. And as they got in their beautiful RV with 2 dogs, they donated their cat, the 18-year-old. So she's living with me now. And she was pretty arthritic when she got here because the 2 dogs turned her life into freedom of house to freedom of their closet corner. So she's like, but every day I see her stretch out and she talks so much. And she's got a heck of a sense of humor. So, yeah, I'm watching the miracle 18-year-old cat come back. And for me, it's just nonstop firsthand testimonials, living through 2 hip replacements in the last 2 years. I'm like, where's the pain? You just cut me open. I called both times. I said, when does the numbing wear off? And I shouldn't have done it 2 times in a row, but they were like an hour after surgery. Are you okay? And I said, it's 4 days later. I have no pain. Is something wrong with me? They said, we hear that once in a while, but twice, you must be doing something right. And I'm like, yeah, I tried to give you a sample, but whatever. So it's pretty amazing.
You go through that little, first off, the C60 Evo premium site for Michael Jaco, and then you can go shop all. So I highly recommend everybody go in that and do a little journey and learn all the different ways and things of, go big, go, case size, and you're going to save a lot of money.
Our case is
big with the actual bottles themselves, and you're going to save a lot of money. So lots of ways to save. We were at one time, I think we're like moving so many cases. We haven't talked about the cases in a while, so I guess maybe people forgot about it, but don't forget those cases, guys.
Well, the reason to buy a case is it's 25% off. 25% is a nice discount. Plus, when you go to c60evo.com/unleashing intuition, Michael has a personal code to get you another little discount at checkout. So definitely go to the page that Michael has in the link below and take a look through the store. Thank you for sharing that. We have 2 different facial serums, a hair formula, 2 lip balms that are over the top good. One is mint and the other is unflavored. So there's something for everyone, but the mint will not leave you disappointed. You can taste it. You can smell it from your lips to your nose because it's real spearmint, all natural. And it goes on and lasts forever.
So we got a guy in the chat that's saying he has he's got a pet wild hog. So I wonder how that pet wild hog would do with the C60 Evo.
Oh, one way to find out, but only if you love your hog and you want it to last longer than it might have without the formula. My mother, I'm proud to say, is about to turn 97. She answers the phone and I test her. Do you remember when I was 10 and we had this thing in the garden? She goes, oh yeah, Conception was tapping the cactus for tequila or whatever. I was like, she remembered his name and what he was tapping and what he was doing. I'm not surprised, but she's almost 97 in May. My mom.
That's incredible.
Sad thing though is all of her friends are dying around her, the stroke and the heart attack and all the free things in the arm. Oh my God, it's endless. They're so generous out there, in these places where elders are, because the thing in the arm didn't get rid of them fast enough. So they're coming around with complimentary doses and probably a pretty silver platter to, impress you, as you say. Of course I want one. Can I have 2? Yeah, they're free. So anyway, my mom is really wise in so many ways, but not that way. And she's mad at me that I didn't do it. And we don't talk politics. And you know what? I see it affecting everybody else, but not my mom. Her brain is on fire. She might make it to 100. Like, she's an ESS 60 mom. And when she runs low on the face serum, I get a photo like this. It's the bottle that's almost empty. And I go, okay. And her assistant that's there 5-6 days a week, my God, we're so lucky to have her. She's from the Philippines, and she's been loyal to helping my mom's second husband until he left the planet. And she made a promise that until Sally chooses to leave, she's there. And she's married to a really wealthy man who just keeps saying, honey, why? Why are you doing this? You don't need to work. And she says, I am going to be with Miss Sally till the day she chooses to leave. And he's like, can't get what? Let me at least buy you a car. She's like, don't need it. amazing woman. So I doubled my send, and she also got the gift that your wife got, which is a complimentary bottle like my mom. And she let me know in no uncertain terms within a few weeks, something I didn't have any idea, that she no longer has migraines at all. And it was so bad. And she had a shot every 3 months just to survive.
Oh my God.
For years. And she said, I don't know what's in this, but I haven't had one. It's been over a year, and
Yeah.
she still makes the same claim. I'm not saying it's going to do that for anybody else, because of course I'm not allowed to.
Sure.
But I can say that we are doing a migraine study coming up, because there's probably
That's
not a coincidence, but until we have the official results and we pay the government for the forms, I won't be able to claim it, or the glass bottles, but I'm really glad you did. But the fact that people I know and love are saying, oh my God, the brain fog's gone, and I don't get those big headaches anymore, is consistent.
Yeah.
So,
you know how we can overcome any resistance there might be out there for, us making claims. So let's go deep down the rabbit hole. I know you're involved with, and I am as well, with the ET disclosure. Not involved with it, but we have been ET disclosing ourselves for a long time. Do you think the ETs, maybe the negative types, are like, doing that evil thing in the arm and some of these chemtrails?
No.
You think it's something else?
It's bad humans. And to tell you the truth, I
bad
left the field.
ET descendants.
Yeah. I don't think in the 100+ crop circles I went in, including night, people don't do that except the crazy girl from America. There was days when I was flying over the crop circles and the pilots had a whole line of us waiting, and they said, it's too windy and rainy. None of you are going to want to go up. It's going to be really bumpy. Unless any of you are just ridiculously insane. And I went, and I flew with no door on my side in a microlight plane. And I've always been that relentless. But in all my time being the relentless crappie girl from America, I got to be honest, I never met an alien. I never saw one. But I will say that something made those movies through me at 3:30 a.m., maybe 3. Every single morning, I would wake up and go, wait, I wrote that? Oh, I've got chills remembering. Yeah, I was awakened at 3 a.m. for all 8 movies. And you can see one of the EB Awards behind me for Best Feature Film. I want to have 5 of them at the International UFO Congress. And I had no idea that you weren't allowed to tell the truth back then. And I never said aliens made anything, because the truth is, I went to the lab of the only scientist in the world and delivered the truth, which is they're coming out of the earth and spinning plasma vortices, counter-rotating. And I saw the proof and the evidence. So, the people, though, that get hundreds of thousands of views on their YouTube videos on crop circles, they have no idea. And that's why they're famous. So my gift after the 5th award and the nonstop praise from people who really appreciated the truth was that I was hit with a directed energy weapon after my last gig. And, I couldn't talk about it, couldn't go to the doctor, but I sat in a chair in my cabin in the woods, scared to death, because I knew that something happened at the airport from behind that dropped me in a pool of Jello from my waist down and destroyed my hips that just got replaced. So the next gift was the guy that put uranium in my garage for telling the truth. So I've left the field of UFOs. And when I see those people that didn't get killed or didn't get removed or didn't get threatened enough to bail, like I did, I bailed. It's like, you know what? I've got better things to do than be wounded, because I don't know how to lie. I know how they're happening. And, I don't mind having my everything shut down, because telling the truth in times of universal deceit is a revolutionary act. This was striped across my website when I was hacked in 2013. Now, I started going in crop circles in 2006. I started making movies in 2007. And I have no idea how I took a movie camera this big, a Panasonic P2 HD. I know nothing about cameras still today, but I knew, because I was instructed, take the lens cap off. Okay, start. Turn those 2 dials until it gets really clear. Okay, I can do that. Hit play. Pause. In. Out. That's all I know about my movie camera through 8 movies. Now, I hired an editor to help me put all this amazing footage together from the airplanes, from the ground. I was in so many crop circles firsthand that I'm born this way. You can't get me to lie for money. You can't get me to lie by trying to kill me twice. I don't have it in me. And so kind of like I left the field, you probably will never see me say, oh, aliens are real. But you'll see a lot of other people do it whose videos have hundreds of thousands of views. So I'm not saying there aren't any. I'm just saying in my experience, 10 years touring with the greats of ufology, never saw one. But I did see ways to make money pretending you did. And my favorite was this girl that wanted to be on camera who said, I am having sex with a reptilian and I have never had such good sex in my life. I said, stop. That's just the greatest story. Not for me, though. And I just turned my camera off before I started. And I was just like, with all due respect, I really wish you well. Now please leave. So that's how I feel about it. And I'm not saying anybody hasn't. If they believe they have, probably it may be true. I don't know. All I know is that in 2016, 17, 18, 19, all of the people I filmed intentionally, the greats of ufology, the 4-star generals, the astronauts, they're all dead. They died in a short period of time when I got hit. And my friends and family said, don't say the DEW word because they're going to call you crazy. Well, hello. How are we going to war right now and winning effortlessly? DEWs?
Yeah.
So, and what are we trying to bring to America so that we can keep ourselves independent? That'd be uranium. And they found it in Colorado, a nice big pile of it. So I've experienced firsthand that I know these things are real. And I've lost a lot of friends that were scared to know me after these things happened to me. And all I can say is your wife and I will be friends, and so will you and I, because we're willing to accept the reality that we are in a war against our body, mind, and spirit. And the only reason that I survived was that I was introduced to this product, C60 Evo Organic Olive Oil, and I've been taking it for years. Okay. And the complete lack of integrity that I saw with whatever was going on with this product, I got directly led to the lab. And now I'm partners with the owners of the only lab in the world selling the good stuff, ESS 60, which you present generously because you honestly take it and love it. And we love working with you.
That's beautiful. Well, this is a great show. And, you know, I'm thrilled that you, you know, ended it like this. So, more motivation for people to actually use the product. So you're one of the few survivors during that time frame like you're talking about. And
knock on wood.
Product you're taking. So I mean, what more? And plus the rats that live, you know, who knows, maybe more than double their lifespan, and free from little things that come in and, you know, destroy our bodies. So crazy times we're living in, but there are ways to continue to experience them, and C60 Evo is one of those that will help us continue forward.
A spoonful in the morning, that's all you need.
Yeah,
and you will love how you feel and look when you take this product.
Awesome. All right, thanks so much, Patty, and thanks for everybody that joined us. Great show today, and I saw the chat. You guys had a beautiful chat over there, talking, enjoying life, and we hope you enjoy life a lot longer. And if you do choose C60 Evo, I think you will. All right, guys. Take care, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.